we were seeing that the scriptures prescribe that life is meant for 4 Purusharth, which we had seen in the last yagna. The 4 Purusharth are called the infrastructure for 4 Purusharth is called Varna and Ashram Vyavastha, and the course of discipline for attaining these 4 Purusharth is called 3 Sadhana or 3 Yoga, which we were seeing yesterday. So, if you remember, in this course of discipline, we had also seen that moksha is Param Purusharth. What is we are worth attaining in this world is not the money, is not the power, is not the position. Worth attaining is something which cannot be lost. When Nachiketa was tempted by Yamraj in Kathopanishad, and he tried to give him many kind of temptations, chariots, power, kingship, damsels, servants. So very popular mantra is there, students must have remembered. Shobhava martyasya dantakaitat sarvendriyanam jaryanti teja api sarvam jivitam alpameva. He says, you are giving me the kingdom of heaven. You are giving me damsels, you are giving me servants. Tell me, this is forever or not? And to that, Yamraj said, sorry, it is not forever. He said, how long it will be there? Well, it will be there for 5,000 years, 10,000 years. Nachiketa asked, after that? Well, after that, we'll be standing here only. So when a person puts a big question mark on any of the worldly achievement, Gurudev used to say he becomes a seeker. When he puts a question mark that even if I attain this, so what? What's big about it? He becomes a seeker. And even if I lose all these worldly things, so what? Even if I lose this thing or this relation or this money or this person, so what? Anyway, I had to lose it after 30 years. I lost it early. I had to lose it anyway. I had to lose my house, I had to lose everything I had to lose, but I am voluntarily losing. The art of voluntarily, happily losing is called sadhana. And forcefully something is taken away, that is called samsara. You need not leave me. I have already left you. I have no regret that you should leave me. I have already left you. Or I want to leave you, not out of bitterness, happily. Cheerful, voluntarily leaving something. Why? Because anyway I have less interest. This person is called moksha purusharthi. He wants independent, free, eternal, non-diminishing joy. Again I'll repeat, independent, free, eternal, non-diminishing joy, irrespective of birth and death. The course of discipline, see my time is very less. Otherwise I would expand. The course of discipline followed for the moksha purusharth is called yoga or sadhana. And yesterday we saw that there are 3 courses of discipline. One is called karma yoga, other is called upasana yoga, and third is called jnana yoga. I hope you are clear. In karma yoga, I had mentioned, I'm just repeating it, there are 2 words, karma and yoga. Karma is proper action and yoga is proper attitude. Now, proper action is determined by its capacity to giving this karma yoga giving inner growth. What is the meaning of inner growth? Supposing you say inner growth means high speed, multi-pointed, uncontrollable thoughts. Well, so say slowly. I will write first, understand later on. High speed, multi-pointed, uncontrollable thoughts born out of ahankar, rag and dvesh are less speed, less multi-pointed thoughts. Again I'll say, high speed, multi-pointed, uncontrollable thoughts have become less speed, less multi-pointed and more controllable. It has not gone. Somebody throws, when anger is there, supposing a person is very angry, he throws the thing, he throws the vessels, he throws the chair. Why? What is this throwing? High speed thoughts are there in his mind. High speed, multi-pointed thoughts are there. He'll bang the door also, suppose. Or supposing a person, like somebody is very, very hungry, if you have seen beggars are there. Beggar eating is another way. And a decent person who gets proper breakfast, lunch is another way. When the beggar eats, he eats with both the hands in all direction. There is no discipline that first this should be eaten, then this should be eaten. He will eat this also, eat this, eat this. So these are high speed thoughts in our mind. High speed, multi-pointed, uncontrolled, impure, egocentric thoughts. Will you add first and then tell? Because I already wrote and I have to put many times like this. This is controlled by the discipline called Karma Yoga. The program Karma Yoga is a mental external infrastructure to control the inner mind. Again I am repeating. Karma Yoga is an external infrastructure for the mind to lessen the high speed thought, make it little single pointed thought, make it little egoless thought. It has not gone, still it is little multi-pointed. But the speed, the gush that it was coming, that is no more. I don't throw the plates now, I just keep quiet. And what was taking long time to diminish, 2 hours, it has become now half an hour. I'm not that wild now. It still is there, but I'm not that ransacked. Bole, he has gone berserk. There's one expression, he has gone berserk. That I don't go berserk now. This kind of ahankar dilution, attachment dilution program is the purpose of Karma Yoga, which I had explained the last 2 classes. Let me go ahead. So what happens? Remember one thing yesterday? 2 things it changes. Attitude of reception changes and quality of response changes. The Karma Yoga ultimately changes the attitude of reception, and second is quality of response. Reception and response is the essence of Karma Yoga. What I give becomes a puja, and what I take is more prasad buddhi. It's okay, I got it, it's fine. I didn't want it. I didn't want it, what he did, I didn't want it. I didn't want it, but I accept it. It's okay. The uncontrollable situations and uncontrollable people which I was emitting and vomiting by my reaction has become palatable and digestible. Possible. The uncontrollable situation, failure, or people, or my poverty, which I was vomiting and reacting, and throwing out through my sadness, through my reaction, it has become palatable, digestible, and non-noticeable in my mind. Is it okay? Bhagwan Ram's Kekai's response was not, he was not bitter about it. It became palatable and digestible response, the way he took it. And what I do with what I get is not for my ahankar hoisting, but it is the expression of my gratitude, and second was contribute. My response is very different. It is not egocentric response, it is God-centric response. It is Guru-centric response. It is Gita-centric response. It takes time, but this is the final product, end product of Karma Yoga is this only. Now let me come to Upasana Yoga. Upasana Yoga, I am not talking of Bhakti, I will talk separately. I am demarcating slightly, this is also called Samadhi Yoga. Please be very careful, I am trying to put in nutshells so that we are clear that what is it all about. Purpose of Upasana Yoga is to program to make our personality fit for accomplishment of all four Purusharth. Purushartha Yogyata Sampadanartham Upasanam. But so slowly you say this. Translate in English, I already said. Program to make our personality fit for accomplishment of all four goals. Program, Purushartha Yogyata Sampadanartham Upasanam. That program, that mental program, please be careful, that mental program through which we make our mind conducive to usher into the life of Shravan, Manan and Dhyan is called Vedanta Upasana. That mental program, are you getting my point? That mental program which is making my mind ready, malleable. It is making my mind moldable, molding my mind to usher into a life of listening, life of knowledge, life of meditation. That is called Upasanam. Okay? Like supposing you are asked to live in a house, it should be worth living. They say it is not livable. Not livable, not cleaned since last 20 years. Furnishing is not there. Bed is not there, table is not there, cobwebs are all around. I saw one snake also. How can you live in that house? I won't live there. Acha? So what shall you do? First clean it and furnish it properly. Then only I can live there. You know when the cricketers go in the field, they don't just go and take the bat and start hitting. There is some warm-up sessions are there. They go there, they do like them, jogging is done, they run for some time, some few rounds. Kyun bhai? Stanley. So, he's athlete. So, you run for some time. Warm-up sessions is there, some basic exercise are done. They will, pull-ups are there, no? Some push-ups, pull-ups, get up, sit down. So, this is called, they are tuning their body, programming their body for batting. If directly they go and pick up the bat, their hardness somewhere is there, stiffness is there, running is there, it will obstruct. And therefore, much time is spent other than batting than the batting. You won't believe they run for 2 hours before they actually play the main cricket. So this is what is the program? This is the program. Upasana is a program which is quietening the mind, tuning the mind for knowledge, meditative and knowledge oriented tuning of the mind. That program which tunes the mind, which molds the mind for meditation and for kind of knowledge, that is called upasana. So upasana is personality conditioning for knowledge program. Personality conditioning program. I hope it is clear. It is that program is there. There is certain program is there. And for this purpose, because you can't just go and start in meditation or start thinking. It is just like that. Supposing somebody has gone to a house and that house is infested with cobwebs and it is not furnished also. There are 2 steps. First step is you will clean the house and take out all the dirts, the rat, cat, all these things you will take out. Snakes, etc. you will take out. Why you're after a snake? So and then after you clean the whole thing, second step is you put painting and furnishing, etc. This is the finer one. So if the rat, etc. is there, it is stinking, you can't stand also. You say, why I can't stand here? You please clean it. Why? Because I have dust allergy. I can't stand. I have to go out. Too much dust is, this place is there. If it is clean, you can stand but can't live. When a person has not gone through the process of karma yoga, is like grosser things like rat, cat, etc. Dust is there. You can't stand the person. But supposing a person has done karma yoga, but still karma yoga reduces the high speed thought, made it selfless thought, but still there are multi-pointed thoughts in him. Fickleness of mind has not totally gone. He has become quieter person, but not meditative person. He still doesn't have one proper track. For the rail to run, tracks are required. He does not have a track. His mind is a trackless. Multiple wrong tracks are there. Although he has become purer and egoless, but still he is not meditative. And therefore his mind has to be conditioned by a process which can make a proper track. I hope it is clear. Only is clear. For this purpose, the personality has been divided into 3 layers. There are many layers. Panchkosh is there, 3 bodies are there. In Vedanta we will hear that. Panchkosh is there, Avasthatra is there. But I am now going through a way, through this is personality is divided into 3 tracks. 3 layers, not tracks. And one is called Kaik, other is called Vachik, and third is called Mansik. Not sick. First is called Kaik. From the standpoint of physical personality. Second is called Vachik. Vachik means verbal personality. How is his oral personality? Oh. We have very developed organ of speech, more than animals. Our organ of speech is very, very developed. We can speak a lot. So speech is not the product of your personality, but speaking shapes your personality also. Speech of a person is not only a reflection of what is the mind, but by speaking and chanting of certain thing, we can make our mind also. Both ways it is there. Is it okay? So you can make it out. Bole, he is a refined person. refined person. And third thing is, what was? Mansik. Mansik is the subtlest and most difficult to handle. These three layers of personalities are there. Now scriptures say deal with all three. Deal with all three. Only what is first is physical personality has to be very important. It's the most grossest but very important. What is the physical personality is there? Physical body should be sadhana conducive body. Meditation friendly physical body is required. Like you have a friendly car. My car is very friendly. Where? It doesn't stop abruptly. Otherwise car is there and it is stopped abruptly. Somewhere in the night. In the night you are going from, what is it called, Phoenix to Chatsworth. And in between, what is there, colony? Blacks colony? Huh? No, not. Mashallah, what is that? Kamasha. Kamasha is there. So, that place it is stopped. Kamashu. Kamashu. So, there it is stopped. If it is stopped there, you are in trouble now. And you not starting now. Many times they leave the car and go away. Who will be standing there and putting their body into risk? Physical personality should be upasana friendly and meditation friendly body. Your car should be goal friendly car. Got my point? Well, yes. It's very, very important. You know, there was one woodcutter, somebody employed. He said, how many trees you cut today? So he was very happy, I cut 20 trees today. 20 trees because the wood was required. Next day it came to 15. Third day he was very sad, it came to 10. Fourth day it was very sad, well it came to only 5. So he said, I don't know why I am listening. He said, you are not taking care of the axe. More important than cutting, you should spend some time in sharpening the axe also. Therefore, scriptures have given lot of importance to making the body meditation and upasana friendly. Please get my point. And therefore prayers are there. Sthirairangai stuštuvagam sastunubihi apyayantu mamangani. We are not neglecting the body. They are not neglecting. So, preservation of health is easier than recovering the lost health. Okay, got my point. Preservation of the existing health is easier than recovering the lost health. So, preservation of health is least expensive and least time consuming. But regaining the lost health is more expensive and more time consuming. Sitting at the doctor's place for 2-3 hours and spending lot of money in medicines, etc., is a bigger thing than maintaining the existing health. You know why? Why? Because most of the sadhana requires sitting. Havan you can't do by walking. Gole take Havan Kund, you walk with the Havan Kund, I will also walk. Swaha. Then next swaha is there. Next swaha is there. Well, can't we walk and have satsang? Somebody will carry your Vyaspeet, or I will keep on walking. Or can't we walk and do jap and meditation? You can do. Can't we walk and do puja? Walk, And supposing you want long hours of sitting, you want to do long puja or long hours of sitting. Bhagavad is 3 hours, 3 hour morning, 3 hour evening. You need to sit for a long time. And long time sitting requires your posture should be very straight. And your body should be not too demanding. Pampering the body is, please note, when I tone and tune the body for worldly purposes, this is called pampering the body. When I tone and tune the body for spiritual purpose, it is called taming the body. We should tame the body and not pamper the body. I hope it is clear. Pata laga 2 hours they are spending in gym only. But you should spend some time, no problem. 3 hours in gym only. Running marathon 3-4 hours. Unnecessary. What for? Getting some worldly gains. My name should be there. Okay, you can get. After running so much, drinking 1 jug of protein powder. They do that. Protein powder, this big jug is there, they are drinking protein powder. Pagal. So therefore, it is better that regularly we do some kind of exercise, some diet control, sleep. There are 3 things. Diet, exercise, and third one? Sleep is also very important. You know, one who cannot give time for health would have to forcefully give time for diseases. One who cannot give time to right health will be forced by the diseases will take their time. You can't escape it. And actually after 40, body becomes little weaker. Apakshiyate start. It is the return journey starts. Now you are on the back journey. So every organ starts becoming weaker. So food should be lesser, less oily. Diet should be more controlled. Little walk should be there. Little of exercise should be there. Why? Not for doing anything else, but for sitting quietly, and body should not be attention seeking body. यहाँ दर्द है आज, यहाँ दर्द है आज, यहाँ दर्द है आज, यहाँ दर्द है, बैठ नहीं पाते. Then I do Qawwali style, I sit. Qawwali style. I mean, and the teacher is saying, Bhai, Bare Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. So there's Qawwali is there now. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. Then other persons, Agyan Timran Dhasya. बोलो भाई ज्ञानांजन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै. So this so when you sit Qawwali style, Qawwali will come out. Hey, God, asana is there. All the yoga asana is called. Asana means to sit so that you have non-interrupted session of track making inside. Purpose of Upasana is right track making. So mental level work. I am developing an infrastructure to do the mental work. Still mental work is not started. Please get my point. Infrastructure is required. Bole painting is required. Bring ladder and brush also. Only man won't work. Ladder is required. So this body is an infrastructure. Body and speech too are infrastructure to go inside and work in the mind. Body and speech, I am coming to it. Kayik and vachik karma are infrastructure for going into the mind and working in the mind at a subtler level for long hours. After I have done Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, I have removed the bushes. I have removed the high intensity thoughts, uncontrollable, impure thought of passion, lust, anger. That has been, but still proper track is not there. Quietness of mind is not there. And this is done by Upasana. And therefore, first infrastructure is body. So maintenance of Health is for the worthy end of the required goal, not for the body I am maintaining the body.